You attended culinary school. Tell us about that.
I was actually, it was a second career. I was doing public relations and marketing for Old Navy in their corporate headquarters in San Francisco. And we were located like 10 blocks from the Ferry Building, which had just been redone and was like the first food hall, in the country, but it was like a super fancy food hall. And I was there all the time. And I was becoming obsessed with food. And I was living in San Francisco, and I got a job doing PR for Apple. And I looked at my cubicle and I was like, I don't want to work in a cubicle anymore. This is not where I'm supposed to be. So I said, like, literally wrote Steve Jobs a letter, because he was like the next in line from my boss, and was like, thank you very much for the opportunity, but I'm going to culinary school. And I went to California Culinary Academy, which at the time was one of those Le Cordon Bleu accredited, blah, 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 which really a puppy mill, as most culinary schools in this country are, except for the top tier ones. And I learned a lot. I did a hospitality and management program. So we did culinary and management. And I think really learning about food safety and how a restaurant should work and the basics really helped me end up writing about food.
What inspires you to write about food?
I mean, I'm obsessed with it. It really is curiosity. I think there's so much you can know. There's really no end to the knowledge. And I've always been someone who likes to read voraciously. If I watch a documentary, I'm going to go listen to the podcast about the documentary and read everyone's deep dive article about the documentary. I just really love to learn. And food is just fascinating to me. And I like to eat it too.
How often do you cook at home?
Every day, something, we sit down for family dinner every night in my house. That's really important to me with my kids, to sit down with no tech and to eat a meal. And then, hopefully they kind of learn something. Last night we had shrimp that I had marinated in ramps with, tagliatelle, and, I like to cook. And I think that's where I'm at too. I'm baking a lot of bread.
Who do you cook for at home?
My husband to be, we're my fiance, and our children. We have 2 9-year-old girls. But also I cook for my friends. Sometimes my friends, because I live near the school where our kids go, the kid will walk to my house, and then I'll end up cooking them something while they're doing their homework and waiting for their mom. I mean, it's my love language. So I cook for everyone in my life. So
who does the dishes?
My partner. I don't touch the dishes. My dream, one of the things I love so much about my partner is that he clears the sink, which is, as a cook, just a clean sink to me is it breeds creativity because I can dirty it again.
Is there a dish you prepare for friends that is always a hit?
My paella on my big green egg. That was actually my final culinary school exam. They told us you had to make a dish with a starch, chicken, and vegetables. So I made a huge paella, and it was all the chef instructors came down to eat my paella, so I knew it was a hit. And it's just one of those things that's people find it intimidating, but it's really easy to do if you know how to do it right and you have the right ingredients. And I love doing that. That is one of my things. That, or I make sopes, fried sopes, Mexican sopes with chorizo and all the salsas and shredded boiled chicken. And those are my 2 things. Yeah.
Did you ever consider in your journey becoming a chef?
Oh, I did. I worked in restaurants as a garde manger cook, as a line cook, shucking oysters and doing moule frite at Plouffe in San Francisco. But it was actually, I was on that track of cooking. At first, when I got out of culinary school, I thought I was going to be a chef in San Francisco. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of pressure, as you know, and you're like really an innovative chef who definitely thinks outside of the box, but there's a lot of pressure in that, you know, to innovate constantly. And that started to weigh very heavily on me. And then I was doing a stage with Tracy Desjardins at one of her little Mexican spot at the Ferry Building. She like took me outside and she's like, "Are you sure you really want to be a line cook forever? Are you sure this is?" Because it just didn't jive. I don't know why. It just like wasn't like working. And I was like, I don't think I do. I think I want to do something else. And she's like, I can tell you're just not in it, you know? So I think that advice really helped me reframe. And that's when I started blogging. And then I got a job, you know, just like in the restaurant business, and just started blogging, and then fell ass backwards into journalism because I didn't go to journalism school. And when people wanted to ask me to write, I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I guess they did.
Is there a secret to overcome writer's block?
I think outlines really help. So you have structure, because then you can like go just attack parts and come back to things. But, you know, just starting not the day before the thing is due is always really helpful, because then you give yourself more time. Because you need, I mean, when I write, I need to get up and walk away. Sometimes, actually, one of my tricks is that I will dictate into my phone what I think, and then I go in and I can clean it up and just use bits that I said, and it seems to help me.
Is there such a thing as food trend?
Yes, 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 there's definitely a I mean, there's so many levels, like, you know, veganism at the highest level. You saw probably 11 Madison Park is completely going plant-based. You know, so I feel like there's a lot of right now talk about sustainability and is it responsible to serve meat, to eat red meat at restaurants? And I feel like if you open the latest issue of Bon Appetit, it's again about that. So I think there's that, and then there's like TikTok food trends, like everyone's baking like feta with cherry tomatoes and tossing it with pasta, or just like right now in Atlanta, like birria tacos are like super popular. I mean, like everyone's doing birria tacos all of a sudden.
Fill in the blank. Podcasting is
fun. A challenge. The new blogging.
Jennifer, do you consider yourself a lunatic?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm an artist also. So I mean, I come from a line of crazy Mexican female painters and sculptors. Like my grandmother, who's 96 and still lives in Mexico City, she's a composer for mariachi. So like, I come from really cuckoo kind of women. We say we're brujas. So yeah, I'm definitely a lunatic. Yeah, but I embrace it. I like everything about the brain.